We all definitely have those creators. Yeah, you know the ones. I'm talking about the type of people on your subscription list that you're excited to see upload anytime that you need something to watch. Creators that have painstakingly crafted their platforms on their personality and passions, almost single-handedly without caring or relying too much on chasing clout or numbers. I, for example, only have a couple of them that I can name off, such as DJ Ghost and now Cowboy Strong. These are examples of independent people filling in the cracks of this crazy hellscape that is the internet. I seriously adore these creators. They separate our platforms from the industrialized copy and paste YouTube content that you can pretty much predict from the thumbnail alone. I recommend you comment your favorite creator that gives you this feeling that I'm talking about down below, and look at some of the other comments below. You may find some great creators and content that's been under your nose the whole time and you never realized it. The reason why I want to talk about these creators today is because I kicked off my new year by meeting a great friend, and he helped me crack the code on these creators. Meet Warren.
I want to introduce myself. My name is Warren Hanscom. I play Red Dead Redemption 2 online. My character is BadAssWarren, and I do some streaming. And I stream under the name of Cowboy_Strong on Twitch and on TikTok.
If you guys watching would like to support me and my channel and get some fire clothing along with it, head over to webliving.clothing and pick up some merch. I would greatly appreciate it, and it helps and supports me in making more videos like this. Now, back into the video. Warren has gotta be the most charming person I've seen in the live streaming scene. With a lot of horrible controversies coming out of seemingly nowhere from our most loved creators on Twitch and TikTok, he's really a breath of fresh air. Let me explain. Every creator that I would consider a part of this niche group checks a handful of certain boxes. You'll often find them engaging with their communities, staying focused on what they love, and also transparency. It's not brand deals, it's not changing and stretching out their content to get the algorithm in their favor, and it's definitely not rooted in controversy. Their audiences are actively supporting not a business but a passionate human being. Warren, without a doubt, checks these boxes and more. Warren is a simple man who doesn't have an ego or a persona. The only difference between Cowboy Strong and Warren is just a gamer tag. Hell, he's not even trying to grow his popularity with each stream. He's just trying to strengthen a community of people doing the same thing that he loves doing. Now, I know what you're thinking. Rak, there's millions of content creators who want to do what he does and do it the exact same way. What makes him so special? Honestly, I couldn't tell you what specifically makes Cowboy Strong so special, but since I've spent the last week hanging out with him and his great community, I've got a really good idea. From his hilarious live streams on Twitch to his creative and innovative community events.
Armadillo is where we're racing to. When this stick of dynamite goes off, the race is on. Oh my goodness! Somebody, Red Flying Elvis, take your time, Red Flying Elvis. You know, you're gonna wreck this thing. You can do this. Be patient. Oh my goodness, he's wrecking another wagon. All right, they're all loading up right here. Oh look, we got Dark Knight. All right, his wagon is incapacitated.
And to his skits he does on TikTok.
Action.
Cowboy Strong might be the most wholesome man in all of internet history.
That there. What do we got that there? Look at that! Look at that Xbox! Yee-haw! Golly gee willikers, we're going! Yee-haw! Yes, sir! Yee-haw! Stay away from my Xbox X, that's mine! I'm telling you, it's mine, don't you come near it!
Experiencing a major rise to his audience as of recently, this content creator has found and built up one of, if not the most, supportive and welcoming communities to date.
Yeah, we're live! ImTheRak. Listen, ImTheRak. We were just chatting about you this evening at the dinner table. So there you have it. But I appreciate you being here, ImTheRak.
A 74-year-old man who would play Red Dead for fun would eventually go on to cultivate a following of people who enjoyed Red Dead as much as him and loved his personality. You are going to want to stick to the end of this video because we were lucky enough to bag an interview from the legend himself, and after recording it, I must say, I love him and his content even more. Warren, aka Cowboy Strong, first started his content creation career back in 2022. And you guys watching at home may be wondering, like how I was, how did Cowboy Strong get his name?
Well, BadAssWarren come about probably maybe as much as 30 years ago. when I first started playing with my younger son. And the two of us were going online, and we needed to come up with a name.
So what about the name Cowboy Strong?
Well, Cowboy Strong, when we started to do a stream, we wanted to have something that was reasonably catchy.
Yeah.
And being the fact that I'm from New England and Boston went through the marathon bombing and they went with the name Boston Strong, I thought, oh, how appropriate. A New Englander. I'm a cowboy at heart, always have been. And so I'll just pick up the name Cowboy Strong and see where we go from there.
Warren is a 74-year-old Red Dead Online grinder and streamer who amassed an audience from his live streams, skits, and tips and tricks videos he posted on YouTube, TikTok, and also Twitch. In the beginning, Cowboy Strong made videos based on tips and tricks for Red Dead Redemption 2.
Even if you're coming into this game alone, start your posse. Other people don't know that you're by yourself. They might think that you've got one or two members with you, and that may keep somebody from attacking you.
As well as just cowboy westerns in general.
Do you have a favorite Western movie? I have about 10 of them that I can think of. Number 10 for me would be The Homesman, starring Tommy Lee Jones and Hilary Swank. What's yours?
Warren has always seemed to be extremely invested in westerns his whole life.
As far as major influences go, I don't know. As far as the cowboy genre goes, I really believe that it's tattooed on my soul. I was just born on the wrong side of the country and probably in the wrong generation as well. The wrong time era, because I can actually remember watching all of the cowboy movies at 3 years old. And I got my first cowboy boots at 4 years old. And I thought I was king of the hill with those cowboy boots. And I walked down the side of the road kicking up dust, just like they kicked up the dust in the Old West. And from that point on, it's been nothing but cowboy as far as literature goes, as far as movies go, as far as dress goes, as far as attitude goes. It's just all cowboy for me.
And while thousands have taken a stab at this sort of content, something made Cowboy stand out from the rest. There was something different about him. It seemed as though with every new video, stream, skit, or really any form of content he would post, it was always super wholesome and gave off the effect that this truly was a man who simply just wanted to play a game he genuinely loved, which is exactly what it was.
Now, I take and look at Red Dead Redemption a little different than most people do. I look at that as though I'm almost living it vicariously through this game as to when I would have liked to have lived during my lifetime back in those days. And so it's just a great game for me.
The love he has for his content attracted an amazing audience who would tune in for every stream just to watch Warren, and how wholesome he is along with the funny jokes he cracks with the viewers as well. It seems as though he is unlike most other creators. Most creators you'll see will talk to their fans, but it pretty much ends there. But don't take my word for it. I interviewed members of his Discord to try and figure out what about Cowboy Strong lassoed their attention and herded them in. Oh god, I need to work on cowboy puns. Yeah.
The way he takes the time to actually get to know as many people within the community. And when I say get to know, the way he took the time to know my name and over time know where I'm from and know me and know my story. Not only is he doing that with me, he's doing it with this guy and this guy and this girl and this girl. And that's what's different. You know, I've seen people stream and they're like, oh, hey, so-and-so, thanks for stopping in. And they don't know who so-and-so is, and they don't know anything. All it is a number. Cowboy looks at us as people, as friends, associates, and he takes the time to know who we are, know where we're from. That's what really, really drew me in, that, hey, this is a special guy.
A couple things that I feel makes Warren's community so special is how much he interacts with them. Whether that's setting up and making events for them to participate in for prizes. I understand that you host events on Red Dead where the top 3 players get prizes. If you could elaborate on that for the viewers at home that may want to join in or watch.
We decided that there is more to Red Dead than what Red Dead offers. And what we decided to do was make some fun out of what we could make fun out of within the game. And so we may have a boat race. And then based on whoever comes up with the fastest time, they will win a prize from Cowboy_Strong. And it doesn't matter whether it's a boat race or whether it's a triathlon. It could be a wrangling event whereby we wrangle buffalo, bison from one point to another point, and whoever does that at the fastest time, maybe lassoing a wild horse and taming it to the point where you can get on it and ride it to a certain point, and whoever does that the fastest will win a prize. And some of these events we have where you only win one prize, one winner, one prize, and there are other events that we have where we pay back 1, 2, and 3 positions. We do have some raffling that we do on a regular basis, and we try to put out a raffle prize that is a little different than what most people would think without going overboard, but yet having it mean something to somebody. For example, the Liberty 24-karat gold bill we just raffled off. It's based upon who gets an entry into that raffle based upon, it could be subscriptions, it could be buymeacoffee.com, it could be anything like that.
What sort of prizes could somebody expect from this?
Well, it can be, we try to keep it all cowboy related in one respect or another. And we've got one coming up this month for Valentine's Day that is going to be an awesome red rose. And that red rose is going to have a gram or grain of gold with it that's also 999.9% gold. And then we'll do things like, for example, a cowboy trinket, whether it be a horseshoe or whether it be a small pony or whether it be a cactus that you can put on a necklace or a charm bracelet. We have a spiral ring notebook with the Cowboy_Strong logo on it. There's lots of different things that are related to the cowboy genre that we take and give out for prizes, but it will always be something that is related to the all-Western, the all-cowboy genre.
Or maybe it's the tips and tricks he gives to the Red Dead community to help them out genuinely and have that community grow. Would you say that his content inspires you to grind harder or work harder?
100, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. End of the day, grind. Just play the game. It will happen. And he emphasizes that. He stresses that.
Or maybe it's even just how much of a bond there seems to be when it comes to him and his community.
Then the same within the community, because several within the community welcomed me and would interact with me via the chat. And I was like, oh my gosh, And when some of those people were, hey, good morning, Dotus, and this and that, I was like, wow, somebody saw me and, they remembered me from yesterday or last week. And then that led to, me being a little more open and vocal in the chat. And then the invites started coming. Hey, would you like to play with us? Would you like to do this? And that was what absolutely drew me into him and the community.
Or maybe it's just from how genuinely funny Cowboy Strong is.
The 3 things that frustrate me are griefers, gators, and I don't know what the other thing is. I'm so frustrated.
Whatever it is that makes Cowboy Strong stand out, there is one thing. Cowboy Strong is one of the most wholesome streamers and has one of the best communities I have ever seen.
Good day, good morning.
Good morning.
How's that work?
That works perfect. All right, let's get started. I want to hear your life story and basically how you got into the position you're in today of making hilarious and wholesome content for your viewers. Because I truly believe you and your community are the most welcoming and supportive one there is.
Well, thank you for saying so. Well, I can tell you that we strive hard to be as wholesome as possible. And the reason for that is because a couple of our followers that I've gotten close to, they have always asked me for a shout out to their little girl or their little boy.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make certain that when we were streaming, that there was as little negative connotation verbally as possible so that they wouldn't be influenced or their parents wouldn't turn it off.
How did you end up here?
Well, I actually ended up here streaming by absolute happenstance. My son was doing a lot of videos and had some different aspects of video going on. And one day while I was playing the game, he happened to pop in and take that first video of me playing the game at 73 years old at the time and approaching $1 million of in-game earned money. And the actual video just exploded online, and we had a lot of requests for, hey, who's this, and blah 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 blah. And one thing led to another, and we talked about it. And he says, well, why don't you do a stream and let's see what happens. So I started streaming. I believe it was like March of 2022. And yeah, the rest is pretty much history. We've been growing quite rapidly as a result of that.
Yeah, that's all. Like, that's how I found you. I think it was from that video or the one where you were talking about how you just simply need to grind to get where you're at. My friend, Call Me Crafty, introduced me into you, actually. He brought up how wholesome you were and how he loved watching your streams. So I was like, all right, I'll check him out. And I've loved your content since. It's amazing.
I appreciate that.
No
Thank you.
problem. Did you have any major influences?
As far as major influences go, I don't know. As far as the cowboy genre goes, I really believe that it's tattooed on my soul. I was just born on the wrong side of the country and probably in the wrong generation as well. The wrong time era, because I can actually remember watching all of the cowboy movies at 3 years old. And I got my first cowboy boots at 4 years old. And I thought I was king of the hill with those cowboy boots. And I walked down the side of the road kicking up dust, just like they kicked up the dust in the Old West. And from that point on, it's been nothing but cowboy as far as literature goes, as far as movies go, as far as dress goes, as far as attitude goes. It's just all cowboy for me.
Is there any cowboy movies or cowboy books you would recommend to other people that may be watching this who have similar interests?
Certainly, yeah. I do believe that the best Western writer out there is Louis L'Amour. And I think he's written 105 books, and I've read every one of them. And Louis L'Amour is probably the best Western writer in my life. And he has got some great literature out there. And I would highly recommend Louis L'Amour. But I can tell you that I've certainly read well over 1,000 Western books.
Are there any important lessons as well from your childhood and growing up that you would like to give the audience?
Well, I can't say that there's any one thing in particular. It's a question of attitude towards life, I would suppose. Yeah. And it's a question of how you perceive things. I mean, listen, we all have our demons, but the fact of the matter is you got to wrestle them to the ground and, hog tie them and get them on out of there. Yeah, I was actually born and grew up in the state of Maine.
How was it growing up there?
Well, I mean, I grew up, let's see, I was born in 1948, so I can distinctly remember the early 50s on. And I've got to tell you that this world has changed dramatically, remarkably so. A lot for the good and a lot for the bad. So it's kind of a balance between, I would say, is the glass half full or is it half empty? Look for the best. Look for that rainbow. See if you can get a hold of it.
There you go.
Wrestle it down.
Did your childhood help shape who you are today? And if so, how?
Was that I can actually remember being in the 3rd grade and in Sacarapa School, Westbrook, Maine. And it was a pretty good distance to my home from there, but walkable. And I can remember that when we had lunchtime, I would literally run the entire distance all the way home at lunchtime so that I could get home, grab a sandwich, and watch a half-hour Western, and then run back to school.
So your whole life really is just tattooed with Western and cowboy.
Absolutely.
That's
There's
awesome.
no doubt about that.
Are you retired?
I am retired, yes. I worked up until I was about 68 years old in a family business, and just like this stream that we run, it's all family. And there's 4 of us that run the stream: myself, Lace and Pistols, the Role Player X, and Radiated Bunny. And the 4 of us put this together, come up with the ideas to push this stream forward, not only in what it is that we're viewing every day, but in other events that we can host within the game that is different from what the game supplies.
How did you get into gaming?
Well, I can remember being in gaming back in Ping and Pong when it first came out. And I would play some, and then I would leave for many years. And then I would come back and I'd play some more, and then I'd leave. Then Red Dead Redemption come out. And I said, wow, that's for me. I take and look at Red Dead Redemption a little different than most people do. I look at that as though I'm almost living it vicariously through this game.
Especially Red Dead 2, with how immersive and realistic a lot of the stuff going on in it is.
I am amazed at how realistic it is. And when you really search out the history of how this game was put together, and who put it together, and the amount of staff that they used, and the time frame that they acquired all of this information and put it together, it's pretty spectacular.
Do you have any friends or family members who have supported you thus far, or that have any strong feelings towards your content creation?
My wife, she finally got to the point where she knew that I was lost to Red Dead, and the only way that she could get a hold of me and talk with me was to go out and get a game herself, so that we could posse up, and then she could talk to me online. And of course, my youngest son, he also works with me with Cowboy Strong, and so I play with him regularly as well. I do have brothers and sisters and friends that tune in every now and again, but not to the degree that I would like. And also, you know, they've got a life to live, and they're moving on in the direction that they're living. And mine is strictly cowboy stuff. It's all Western, is what it is.
That's amazing that you have a family backing you and supporting you along the way. That's something that I feel like every creator should have and pretty much needs.
Amen.
How long has it been since you started?
Well, I started streaming in March of last year on TikTok. And then once I got the number of viewers up that I needed in TikTok to go over to Twitch, that I've been streaming on Twitch now for about 9 months. And it's been fantastic. And I'll tell you what, I've really grown to enjoy and look forward to every single one of these people that are here, because they are just amazing.
Do you feel your online presence has changed your gameplay or personal life in any way?
Well, it has, because what it has done is it's taken me away from a lot of the things that I would normally be doing if I wasn't playing Red Dead.
Would you say it's the chat that makes it more fun, or just playing Red Dead? It's just fun in general.
Well, I think it's the combination of the two.
Okay.
I think it's the combination of the two, because while I'm playing and I'm glancing at the chat and I see what people are saying, I might respond to it, and then somebody else may chime in and make a response to that, and then it can all break loose right then and there, and we can absolutely go from 0 to 100 miles an hour in just moments, with kind of laughter and fun and comments back and forth. And once they wind me up, it's pretty hard to get me to wind back down. Even to the point where sometimes I'll stop my evening stream at 11 o'clock, and I can't get to sleep until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, because I'm chuckling and giggling over different things that have occurred as I play it back through my mind, only to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and start all over again.
That's amazing. That sounds like the life that everybody should strive to live, honestly.
Well, a lot of people think that it's a waste of time, but I certainly don't think it's a waste of time.
Yeah. So would you say family and friends is what matters to you most, like, throughout your life, or?
Yeah, I think family, number one, of course. And then, friends are great. There's no doubt about it. Friends are great there. It's important to all people. And the more friends that you have, the more laughs you're going to have in life. The more laughs you have in life, the probably the further along in life you're going to go.
Yeah.
Just because you don't have that stress of life.
I agree. So we've talked about your Red Dead hobby a lot. Are there any other hobbies that you may have?
Well, I mean, at this point in life, not so many, really. I mean, I enjoy working outdoors a lot. And I would say, guns themselves are an enjoyment that I have. But beyond that, that's pretty much about it.
And did you play the first 2 Red Deads?
I did. Yes, I did. And if I was to compare 1 with 2, I've always told everybody that I look at it this way. Red Dead 1 is like driving a Mack truck with no power steering, and Red Dead 2 is like being in a little sports car zipping all around. There's that much of a difference.
So, are there any other games you put this much time into?
No, there is no game that I've put this much time into. In fact, I was looking at time last night,
Yeah.
and right now I have 11,891 hours into this game. That's a lot of hours.
Are there any other games that you play? Maybe that you don't have that much time into, but do you still enjoy other games?
Well, I mean, I don't play any other games. I have played in the most recent past Far Cry 2, Far Cry
Ooh,
3.
those are good.
I've played State of Decay. I love State of Decay. I love Far Cry 2 more than any of the other Far Cries. I've played others like Medal of Honor and things of that nature. I go all the way back to Doom even, and Gears of War, for example. But
Yeah.
I never really liked all of them that much. I played them because they were interesting. But when Red Dead come along, I knew hands down that was it. That is my game.
So, are there any other Rockstar games that you enjoyed? Like maybe GTA or LA Noire?
Well, this is the way that I look at it. GTA is for the
Yeah.
young generation. But when it comes to Red Dead Redemption, what we're looking at is we're looking at a older group of people that are interested in playing a game, that are mature, and that they can concentrate enough so that they know that they can go from point A to point Z without having to do all of these crazy things in between in the way of blowing up things. It's just a normal progression in the game that they enjoy. Well, I can tell you that there are times when I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I'll say, geez, I feel wide awake. I think I'll go in and I'll play Red Dead for a little while. And I'll
Yeah.
get up and I'll play Red Dead for a little while and, go on from there.
So, do you play the story mode at all? Or is it just mostly online?
That's a sore spot with a lot of people,
Oh.
in my community and
Yeah.
in the game. I do not like storyline whatsoever. It's just horrible for me. It literally will run my blood pressure up, and I just go crazy with the storyline, and I just can't do it. I've even tried to stream it online,
Mhm.
and I just can't do it because it drives my blood pressure up. It's slow. It's boring.
Oh.
I don't want to play as another character. I want to play as me. I don't want to be taking, the kids fishing and the women.
Yeah.
I don't want to be returning them from shopping on a wagon, things of that nature. So I just kind of I had to put it aside, close the book on it, and concentrate on Red Dead Redemption 2 online.
How do you feel about Rockstar's lack of support on Red Dead 2 so that they can focus all their resources on GTA 6?
Well, I'll tell you what. I think that what they're doing is they have turned their focus away from Red Dead 2 towards GTA
Yeah.
because it's a younger generation. They have more disposable income, and they'll buy those cards of some sort that they have over there, and they'll
Yeah.
spend the money. And what people need to remember, most importantly, is that initially when this game come out and the press release come out, Rockstar had said from the very beginning, this is not GTA. This is a slow burn game for the next 10 years. Well, we're into year 4. And we've got
Oh.
6 years to go to reach 10 years. And so I'm sure there's a lot of things that are going to be coming along. Now, people say that we haven't got any downloads. Well, the fact of the matter is that that's absolutely wrong. We have had
Mhm.
downloads, not to the degree or the size that people are looking for, but we have had downloads. We've had the Skelding missions. We've had different venues within the showdowns that we've gotten. We've gotten all kinds of things.
Yeah,
It
I
might be a
agree.
little bit slowed down, but it's not dead yet. And I don't think it will be.
After making GTA 6, if Rockstar were to make a Red Dead 3, what would you hope to see?
I think that Red Dead 3 will come. It's
Yeah.
just a question of time. Whether it comes in my lifetime or not, I don't know. But my guess is going to be that Red Dead 3 is going to come out probably somewhere between 2026 and 2028. They'll bring in some more roles. Maybe it'll be a cattle rancher. Maybe it'll be a horse farm of some sort, or
Yeah.
whatever it might be. Maybe a sheriff in a town. oh, who knows? There are just so many possible things it can be. The potential in Red Dead is unlimited.
Do you think it's the love of the grind that also pushes you to keep playing?
I can't say yes, I guess I can say the love of the grind, because what I'm grinding for is I'm grinding for that last level within Red Dead Redemption 2, which is level 1000.
Yeah,
And I'm nearly there. That's the grind. And
I'm
then
excited
as I
to
got
see it.
going, once I got going, I thought to myself, well, geez, the money's great, the gold is great. Why don't I just take and combine several things and make it my score within the game? I don't know that there's anybody out there at this time that can honestly say that they can compete with the numbers that I've got and have done it genuinely, honestly,
Yeah.
without cheating.
So, do you have anything to say to streamers, young and old, who want to get out there and start creating?
You got to grind it.
There you
You
go.
got to grind at the very beginning. And you better be tough, because there's a lot of ups, there's a lot of downs.
I'm loving your community so much, and I just have one last thing I need to ask you. If
By all
I were
means.
to get an Xbox, would you be down to play with me?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I have done that. I
All right.
have done that many, many times with people. We have had people that were on PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, and they have done exactly that. And I have done exactly as I have indicated, and that is to play with them once they got their Xbox. I do it on a daily basis. And it's amazing the number of people within our community that have switched from PlayStation to Xbox just so that they could play with us.
So,
And I
yeah.
just find that very, very humbling, really.
I've seen that you also have a merch store. I'm gonna link that down below, just in case any viewers want to go purchase anything or buy anything from there. I think I'm about to buy one of the t-shirts or buckles or something off of there because they look awesome. I also have a merch store, so if you want something, I can send you something your way.
Okay.
I'll send you the link. You can just take a look, and then I'll send
Please
it to you
do.
for free. I got you.
Please do. Yay, thank you very much. And, don't forget that when everybody comes on over to our stream, we even get into the cowboy talk, don't you know? And we'll just tell it like it is. And those griefers out there, they're just no good, dirty, rotten, low down, short-haired, egg-eating, yellow-bellied, sap-sucking sidewinders. That's what they are, don't you know?
You're hilarious, man. I'm gonna talk to you later. I'm hoping that this interview will bring about an amazing friendship between the two of us.
I certainly hope so, and I can only expect that it will.
All right, man. I'll talk to you later. Stay safe. Love you, man. Goodbye.
You do the same. Stay well, stay safe. Hey, adios, amigo.
See you.